evening, and welcome to this week's edition of Wells High FYI. I'm Lisa Osborne.
And I'm Lori Gould. Students might think they can do it all, participate in athletics, keep a social life, and still keep up their grades. However, the results of the Maine Educational Assessment Test show that students in the state of Maine who worked more than 17 hours a week suffer in their academic standing. Students who claim that they were planning to join the workforce after graduation scored drastically lower than the state average in each subject. Students who held after-school jobs and planned to keep them after graduation also scored lower. Does this mean that students should quit their after-school jobs? Not necessarily. The test results also showed that students who worked 8 hours a week or less achieved higher scores than those students who didn't work at all. Lisa?
Student authors at Wells High recently had a chance to talk to a master writer. The group, Writer's Block, had a chance to visit the Wells Public Library and talk with Beulah Smith, poet and column writer for the York County Coast-Star. Smith told stories and read a few pieces of poetry to the group. The students felt they learned much from the experience of speaking with an established poet. They were also grateful for the gift of a book autographed by Smith presented to each student. Writer's Block is an organization that enables young writers to share their own stories and poems. They learn how to prepare their writing for publication and where to send them to be published. Lori?
Mathematicians from Wells High School are in the right angle. The math team has begun competing, their first meet being at Freeport High School on November 7th. The team, which consists of only 6 members, competed against 9 other schools in their conference and finished 6th. Each meet contains different categories on subjects such as area and volume, team problems, and arithmetic. Students are allowed only 12 minutes to complete each section. The team hopes for improvement and welcomes new members, which might bring the possibility of finishing in the top grouping of their conference. Lisa?
A group of Wells High School students are ready for a decathlon, in academics that is. The academic decathlon team, which consists of 9 juniors and seniors, have already begun to prepare for competition in March. In preparation for the decathlon, students meet every Tuesday to discuss a new category. They have welcomed various specialists to discuss topics. Speakers have included Larry Downing, band director at Wells High School, who spoke on music; Vanessa White-Capilouti, Wells High School art teacher, spoke on art; math teacher J.I. Dett discussed various math topics; and a UNH professor spoke on economics. The students will continue to be educated on various subjects until March, when the decathlon takes place. Lori?
If you have no plans this Thursday night and college costs are a burden on your mind, the Wells High School Guidance Office invites you to Financial Aid Information Night at 7 p.m. in the Wells High Library. The director of Southern Maine Technical College's Financial Aid Office will review the financial aid form, which is the national form for all students applying for financial aid. There will also be a short presentation from a local bank regarding loan programs for students. All interested parents and students must attend. Lisa?
While most students were sleeping in on their days off last week, the Wells High faculty was at school discussing exactly what's wrong with the school day and schedule. On Tuesday, the teachers discussed the topic of authentic assessment. On Wednesday afternoon, the teachers met again to continue discussion on the major topic. Then they broke into groups to talk about the Laserdisc technology and Project Adventure. Teachers are planning to involve students in the scheduling project via discussions to be held for Friday. Val G. Nolan, principal of Wells High, is pleased with the results of the workshop and feels there is a spirit of people wanting to work together and define a vision we all have in common. Lori?
Fans, you know it's true. Milli Vanilli is just phony baloney. After rumors were spread about the two lip-syncing in concert and people started questioning their actual singing, band members Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan publicly announced that they didn't sing one single note in their album, Girl You Know It's True. Pilatus and Morvan claimed that their record producer, Frank Farian, blackmailed them to act as Milli Vanilli. In fact, Pilatus and Morvan were living in the slums of Berlin when Farian offered to pay them $5,000 each to be Milli Vanilli. Since they didn't have much money, they accepted the offer. At a recent press conference, Pilatus and Morvan gave back the Best New Artist Grammy awarded to Milli Vanilli. At the conference, the press got Pilatus and Morvan to sing a 15-second piece of their #1 hit, Girl You Know It's True. We'll now go to this week's feature with Michelle Perry.
As most everyone knows, 5 months ago marked the beginning of a hostile feud between two countries. As the tension rose between both the United States and Iraq, military defense is everyone's main concern. Will there or will there not be a war? Now, a deadline of January 15th has been set by the United Nations in which Iraq must pull out of Kuwait and free all hostages. This controversy has affected the lives of several individuals as well as their families and set a damper on many holiday plans. It has affected everyone's lives whether we like it or not. I had a chance to talk with 3 people from Wells concerning their situations with the Persian Gulf crisis. My first guest, Mr. Staples, was part of the studio audience at the Phil Donahue show filmed in Kennebunkport, Maine. Mr. Staples, could you tell us your opinion on a couple of the issues discussed during the show?
Well, first of all, I have very mixed feelings about the issues that were discussed on the show. The panel, I feel, was very heavily weighted, that being that they felt that the young Americans should not be over in the Gulf. Many people within the audience, as people saw, I'm sure, on TV, especially the American Legion people, definitely felt that we should be in the Gulf. I have mixed feelings, as I said before. I feel that if someone is a part of the armed services, that they are responsible to do what the U.S. government tells them that they need to do. I, however, having 2 sons of my own, have strong feelings also in that I personally do not feel that any Americans should be in the Persian Gulf at this time. However, in that we are already there, creates a completely different type of situation. I think that the economic sanctions that are being used by President Bush and our government are probably the most reasonable type of thing. However, a lot of people become very leery in that it takes a long time for these types of things to work. I think that most people in the United States as well as throughout the world would definitely be against war as such. However, sometimes these situations come about that we can't really control.
Now I'm here with Mrs. Carol Dean, a secretary here at Wells High School. Currently, her son Kevin is stationed in the desert. Mrs. Dean, exactly where is your son stationed?
They aren't allowed to give us that information. He is wherever the 82nd Airborne is.
Okay. And how long has he been there?
He left August 13th.
Okay. And will he be home for Christmas?
We were really in hopes that he would be, and we kind of have to take it on a day-by-day basis. But the way it looks right now, it doesn't look like any of them are coming home for Christmas.
Okay. Are you able to communicate with your son?
Yes, I communicate with him almost every single day by letter. I have had a couple of telephone calls, very brief ones, and he writes back 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. And what are his feelings about being stationed over there?
Well, I think it's a little more than either one of us bargained for. He went into the service to get his college money, and but he's ready to serve his country. He would like it to be over with, and we would all like it to be settled peacefully.
Mm-hmm. I'm here with Mr. Corey Thing, co-advisor of National Honor Society. Mr. Thing, exactly what is National Honor Society doing for the soldiers?
The NHS has sent several pounds worth of edibles, candies, gum, lollipops, and stuff like this, and they sent several letters along with it. So we're giving moral support and sugar-coated goodies.
Thank you. What is your personal opinion of this situation?
Situation in the Persian Gulf?
The Persian Gulf.
My personal opinion is we should probably read a bit more on why Hussein went in there in the first place, phone up on the Iraq-Iran war and Kuwait's role in it, and then find out the initial reasons President Bush decided to send American men and women over there. But at least they have the support of the people, not like it was in the 60s.
Although many people feel this problem only exists in a faraway land, in actuality, as you can see, it affects the people right here in Wells.